Hi, and welcome to the Walt Wines Happy Hour. This is our shelter-in-place series that's starting to shut down the shelter-in-place version and open up the happy hour version. So that's where I want to be. I want to be in happy places. And we're excited that you are joining us today on Walt Wines Facebook Live. We have an incredible guest today, and it's just, I've been excited all day. I haven't really had a lot of time to do a lot of work, so I've just been drinking wine. But we'll get to that in a second. I wanted to thank everyone who's joining us, everyone who's been with us for the last couple months. I wanted to say that we're going to keep doing these happy hours, and we have some incredible guests that are lined up for the month of June and July. So stay tuned. You're going to want to check this out. Before I start, I want to remind all of our viewers, pop cork right now, because it's going to be a fun ride. If you haven't had a chance to get our wines, you can go to waltwines.com. You can check out the wines that we're going to drink today and purchase those. There's a special going on that'll end on Sunday, and I hope you can have a chance to grab those and bring them home. As well, I just want to always thank everyone who's keeping an eye out for us, all the frontline workers, all the people who are doing the hard work to make sure that we're fed, to make sure that we're safe, to make sure that we're well. So thank you to all of you who are continuing to be on this front line. We're not quite through it yet. It's getting better, but we're going to hopefully be in the clear very soon. So I had the great honor of seeing an email from a friend of mine that said that someone was interested in coming on. And I was just like, there's no way he's interested. He's a huge star. He's one of the youngest stars in Major League Baseball. He's a World Series winner. He's an all-star MVP. He's one of the most up-and-coming, or one of the most talented young players in baseball today. And I was excited when I heard that Alex Bregman was going to be joining us. So Alex, are you out there?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, there you are. Wow. It's like it's not real until you're there, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. I'm excited to be here and taste some wine.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Are you in Houston right now? You working out?
Yeah, in Houston. It's been we're swinging the bat. It's been a lot of fun. We've been hitting, working out. It's been different types of workouts. We've been doing them at our house or in a cave down the street. It's just us, but it's been fun. It's been an interesting time, and we've just been trying to do our small part in helping out the community here as well.
Yeah, and I want to get to that. But before I do, you need to be properly addressed. So we need to pour you a glass of wine. So I've got our 2017 Waltz Labrisa Pinot Noir. So this is the grape is Pinot Noir, and it's a really nice, kind of lovely wine. If it's okay, I'm going to just pass it over to you.
Yeah, let me grab that.
You can grab that.
Thank you.
Bam, power of the internet all the way to Houston, right?
Labrisa.
Thanks, Alex. Why don't you pour yourself? Yeah, big glass. So, are you do you drink a lot of wine at home, or?
Well, just some of y'all's wine, honestly. My fiance loves it, but
all right.
I'm a new wine drinker, I guess. You guys have turned me into a wine drinker. I love it. It's good. I'm gonna have a sip actually right now.
Yeah, so cheers to you. Oops, there's the camera. Cheers to you. And thanks so much for coming on. So I was going to tell a story about, professional winemaking. You have a long history. Your family is big into professional sports. From what I read, your grandfather was responsible for bringing the Texas Rangers from Washington, D.C., and your dad owned a D-League team in Albuquerque, the Thunderbirds, if I'm right.
No, you're right.
So I know you're new to wine, but how do we stack up in the world of professional winemaking?
I mean, it's legit. I love it. It tasted so good. I don't normally drink wine, but now you guys got me hooked. So this is it. You're right. My grandfather was the attorney for the Washington Senators, and he helped with the negotiations to move the team to Texas. And then my father owned the Albuquerque Thunderbirds growing up, who they sold to the Cavaliers when I was in high school. So,
all right,
yeah, been in the sport.
So I mean, I was gonna say, so it was just kind of like natural for you to end up in professional sports, other than the fact that you're massively talented, obviously, but you kind of knew what was going on.
I loved it growing up, just seeing the ins and outs of what it was like to be a professional. And my parents love sports, and they never forced me to play at all. They just were my biggest supporters, and told me I had to work hard and make sacrifices if I wanted to play. And very thankful for them.
So my wife actually got me into wine, believe it or not. So we have some similarities there. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding.
Yes.
Was there wine on the table when you grew up? Was your family? My wife's an attorney, so that's why I'm asking.
So I think you might tell me this might be bad, but my mom drinks wine like she'll have a few glasses of wine at night. Uh-huh. But my dad drinks wine, but he puts ice cubes in the wine. That's a big no-no, right?
I mean, we would say in the wine industry, you should drink the way you like to drink it, and it's not how we meant to make it, but whatever is enjoyable is the way you should drink, right?
I would never put ice cubes in this. It tastes too good. Don't want to water.
No, you're gonna end up watering it down. So I mentioned that this is Pinot Noir, and I know you're just getting into wine. So believe it or not, the majority of the people that are probably tuning in who are huge fans of yours have all of these questions. What is Pinot Noir? It's a grape. It tends to be a very versatile grape. So it's a wine. Pinot Noir is known for food pairings primarily. And you are a shortstop coming up. I know you're going to become a shortstop again. But what I know about shortstops, because I was a catcher, shortstops are the most athletic players on the diamond. They're also the most versatile players. Oh, come on, let me do it. Most versatile players on the diamond. If you think about, guys like Robin Yount, Cal Ripken Jr., right? They made that move from short to third. So Pinot Noir is just as versatile as you are. So I'm going to ask you what you would pair with this wine if you were thinking about your Gulf Coast food that you've grown up with.
All right, so a food with this. Hold up, let me try it.
And softball.
I'm going with a nice filet mignon, honestly.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would do filet. I like crayfish boils coming into the Houston, and then an etouffee or some gumbo, something spicy from your LSU days.
Okay.
I've only spent a brief moment in Baton Rouge. I actually went to Tiger Town, by the way. Or Tiger, what's it called where you drink?
Tiger Bar?
Tiger Bar, yes, I've been there.
The name's changed since you've been there. And now it's like Fred's, I think.
Oh, well, that's too bad. That's not do it. But yeah, so that's what about a Hatch chili?
Maybe. That's what I grew up having, like green chili cheeseburgers, and my parents would drink wine with them, so that might be a good mix. But my fiance, what she would mix this with is more Pinot. She
more
just
Pinot. Yeah, that's when my wife comes home from work. It's what's for dinner and what's on the table. So those are the two things I'm usually responsible for.
Yep.
Past that, I give up. Like the kids are the kids are all out there. So we were actually founded in 2012. Walt Wines. That was the first year that we launched. It's also the year you were drafted the first time. So you were drafted and you went to college at LSU. You kind of famously. I'm drawing parallels between the winery. You famously kind of launched onto the scene as a really young athlete, a really young star. And then you went ahead and jumped into the home run derby against like Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. So the story is, that I'm trying to build is we feel like we're just starting to get somewhere and get people's attention as a winery. How do you feel right now in your career? Do you feel like you're at the tipping point, and where do you feel like you are as your rise to stardom right now?
I feel same way. We're just getting started. I mean, I've been in the big leagues for 3 years now. Rookie year was 2017. 2018 was a good year. 2019 was a good year, and trying to gradually get better and have great teammates, great coaches, great people that have been around me since I've been at a young age in this game, and they've helped me out a lot. And now I'm trying to kind of build into more of a leadership role and and do that. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to continuing to try and learn and get better at this game. And had a lot of fun. I see one of the comments from Jennifer says, if I was going to compare this wine to a baseball player, who would it be? I would have to say, somebody who's very smooth. Let me see. Michael Brantley, my teammate. They say we call him Dr. Smooth. This is a smooth wine. I like it. It tastes real good.
That's cool, man. Thanks so much. Yeah. So, we were talking just a moment ago. You were talking about some other players that are into wine. You're talking about Justin Verlander a little bit. So, what do you think he would think of this wine, being that
Oh, he'd love it. He'd love it.
Right.
His day goes coffee to wine, unless he's pitching that day. He doesn't do the wine if he's pitching that day, but he goes coffee to wine. That's his saying. So, I think you'd love it, and hopefully us three can get together during this season and drink some.
So I got to ask about the bullpen. You guys like Justin Verlander, if he knows he's off for the day, is there some wine flowing in the bullpen? I mean, I know in high school it got a little messy, but I never got that far.
No, not during the game. Never during the game. Maybe after the game, talk about a good win or something like that. Maybe to celebrate. With him, it's normally champagne after a game because we're toasting one of his accomplishments. Because I think last year, whether it was a no-hitter or 3,000 strikeouts, we're going to have to start toasting with some of this wine at the next year.
I don't make any sparkling wine, but Justin, if you're out there, if you're watching Alex right now on the feed, I'm happy to take you guys out when I'm in Houston next time. So, and I really want to get to Houston. I love that town. It's a great city. All right, so we got questions coming in from Facebook. So from the ether. All right, who's the toughest pitcher you had to face?
I don't like giving pitchers a lot of credit, but I don't normally say, but I'll tell y'all the toughest pitcher I probably had to face over the last 3 years was probably Luis Severino from the Yankees. He's really, really good. His fastball is really good. His slider just looks exactly like his fastball. His changeup looks exactly like it as well. So he's super tough. He throws 100 miles an hour, and it feels like it's just there. It's already on you, and you have to react.
No, the scariest pitcher I ever faced was actually Tom Brady in high school. He was a catcher, and I was a junior when he was a senior, and so I got to face him once. And he's a pretty big guy, right? He's about 6 feet tall, and it just was downhill heat all day long. And
awesome,
where he ended up. So I feel you that. I couldn't keep up. I don't even think I got anything. All right. So, man, this is probably the most questions I've ever got on Facebook Live, but here we go. All right. How about classic stadium food? We'll stay to the food aspect.
All right.
What do you think would pair with this wine?
Allie, that's a great question. Let me see. I don't know. I wouldn't say like a stadium hot dog. I think this is more of a classier wine. I'd probably go with maybe like a Diamond Club at Minute Maid. You go downstairs, you get like a nice 5-star meal. This is a really good wine.
Yeah, this wine is far too good for, let's call it, a Dodger dog. We're not going there.
I don't know. The Dodger dogs that are.
I'm a Giants fan.
Oh, I got you. No,
I'm a Giants fan.
They're good.
Yeah, no, I take any opportunity I have because you're in the American League, so it doesn't. To me, this is like I can have this conversation without any sort of animus, really.
Yeah, I don't think we played. We haven't played. We played the Giants, I think, 2 years ago. That's an amazing ballpark to play at.
And it's a good food ballpark too.
What'd you say?
As it's a good food ballpark too.
The clubhouse food that we ate was legit. I didn't get to eat any of the stadium food, but The fans in San Francisco are unbelievable. They're awesome. They love baseball. They know the game. They're knowledgeable about it, and it's awesome to play out there.
Yeah, and I need to get down to Minute Maid Park. That's one of the only ones I haven't had a chance to visit. Well, hey, I wanted to talk about our other wine. We've got 2 wines for you to try today, and you already finished your workout, so we should keep going. So this is Bob's Ranch. So we have it. So the winery is owned by Catherine Walt Hall. I just want to pour you a glass, and then I'll talk a little bit about it if that's all right. So I'm going to slide it that way into the screen.
Oh, wrong way.
Either way. It appears sometimes from a down below too. You never know.
Got it. Bob's Ranch.
That's it. Yeah, for sure.
Let me pour a glass real quick.
Lot. Pour a big one.
Got it.
Thanks, man. Cheers to you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, there's the camera. So this is our flagship wine. This would be attuned to, you were talking about some other producers. You were talking about Joseph Phelps and Insignia. That's their flagship wine. For us, it's Catherine Hall for our Hall label, and for Walt Wines, it's our Bob's Ranch Pinot Noir. So this is a wine we're looking for, and I hope you can feel this, but we're looking for more power. We're looking for more length. We're looking for structure. We're looking for freshness. And it's a wine that, was inspired by Catherine's father, because he was a wine grower. He grew grapes, and then she started to make wine. But wine takes a long time to make. And so it's a very patient process, right? It takes about 7 months to grow it. And then after we're done growing it, it takes us about 10 months to cellar it. And then after we're done cellaring it, it takes us about 6 months to get it to you. So that takes a lot of patience. So the question I wanted to ask before we got a lot of other questions coming in, you're one of the most patient baseball players right now. You led the league in walks and you hit 41 home runs, which means you're excellent. In fact, as a Giants fan, you're a lot like one of my favorite players, Barry Bonds, right? Because he was good at that. So
he's unbelievable.
He's
got to be he's had some of the best, he's had the best seasons of all time. And I was going to say power and patience, that's Barry Bonds. So you got Michael Brantley, and you got power, and then you got Barry Bonds. Smooth and then powerful. I like it.
So how do you? I was never able to do this as a kid. I was a free swinger. How did you develop the ability to basically wait for your pitch? Because there's a lot of good ones, but you're looking for the one that you can knock out of the park.
Yeah, so when I first came up into the big leagues, and you face guys that are so elite, they can put the ball wherever they want it. They can throw incredible breaking pitches, change-ups, fastballs, whatever. They're amazing, and I had to kind of zone in and look for my pitch. I had to look for something down the middle of the plate and not just swing at everything. And worked at it for a while, but have gotten better and want to hopefully continue to improve at the patience, and hopefully that I feel like being more patient at the plate has actually translated into being more powerful too, because you're swinging at better pitches to hit.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got like 40-some thousand fans, and they're all screaming at you to hit the ball, and you've got to sit there and wait for the pitcher to give you what you want. For us, it's about going through that process of winemaking methodically, and then slowly allowing those wines to mature, and then putting them together. That's how we hit the perfect pitch. So I do have some fans today. In fact, it's a gentleman that works for us, so I'm seeding this a little bit, and his wife, and they are crazy Astros fans. They're nutball. They live in Houston, or they don't live in Houston anymore, but they're from Houston and Louisiana. So Amy and Chad, are you out there?
We're here.
Hey, we're here.
What's up, Chad? How we doing?
Good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So I wanted to pour you guys a glass of wine, if that's all right, before we get started, because I know you're geeking out to see Alex right now.
For sure.
Are you guys ready? I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna pass it this way. Can we get it there?
You did. Bam.
So we're in Dallas, Houston, and Marin County right now.
Nice.
So, Chad, LSU grad, Amy, Houston born and bred, right?
Right.
Cheers to you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Do you have any questions you want to ask Alex Bregman?
Amy's going to start off. She has one for
I
you.
have several. I have like a list of them. But I promise I'll keep it short. I'm going to start with one that I can actually really relate to. So my favorite sporting moment, best memory probably I've had, is I attended Game 3 of 2017 World Series, Friday night game in Houston, hometown. So it was amazing. Outside of winning the World Series, what would be your next favorite sporting moment?
I mean,
it doesn't have to be baseball. It could be anything.
I don't know. I would say the first time I was able to put on the red, white, and blue and play for Team USA when I was 15. We went down to Mexico and we actually went undefeated and won the gold medal. And that was just – there's just something about putting on the red, white, and blue and playing for your country that it's second to none. And it was just an absolute blast.
Good answer. I like that. All right, Chad, you got one?
Oh, I have a ton. This would be just more LSU talk going back and forth. You were in school right whenever we were having some turmoil with Les Miles. What was one of your favorite games that you ever went to in Tiger Stadium?
You know, I loved going to every LSU football game. They're all amazing. I was at the game where he was carried off the field when they thought he was going to be fired, and then he wasn't, and then he went and won the game, and the players carried him off the field. But I mean, it's hard to beat the memories from this season. My fiance and I, my fiance went to A&M. We went to the LSU A&M game this year. We brought our parents into town, and that was actually one occasion we were actually drinking some wine. But
all right.
But we went to the game and we were up 31-0 at halftime, and she was wearing all her A&M gear, and she was like, "I'm ready to leave," and I was like, "Nope, we're staying for the whole game."
That's right. All those lucky number 7s that they remembered from last year.
Oh my God.
That was awesome.
So Amy, I promised Alex we wouldn't go all the way too long. I don't want to take up all of his evening. He's got to get back to his wife with the wine. So how many? So what's your next question?
I'll go an easy one. I know that you're pretty involved with Houston Food Bank and kids. So if you had advice for kids that are playing baseball, what would it be?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So first off, my fiance and I had started a campaign. It's called Feed Hugh, and it's with the Houston Food Bank here in town. As soon as schools got shut down, we tried to raise as much money as possible to help the kids that usually rely on the school system for food. And so far, we're up to about $2 million, which will provide 6 million meals for kids here in Houston. And that's been really fun to do. We've been packaging the food at the food bank and handing it out as well. So it's been fun to be able to spend our time doing that during this time. But yeah, I'm very passionate about kids, and especially kids that play baseball. We just started a swing review, so any kid from across the country can send me their swing, and I can help them out with the mechanics of it. We just today actually started we just were reviewing it for the first time. We had over 1,000 requests, and we were getting through them today at the baseball academy, having some fun trying to help them out. But nice. the advice I would give to kids would be to work hard, and the advice I'd give to parents is not to, if they want to be baseball players, let them decide to be baseball players themselves. You don't have to push them to do that. My parents were great because they never forced me to go to practice. My parents always said, if you want to be successful at this game, you're going to have to sacrifice and you're going to have to work hard. So they were available to take me to games and practices, but they never pushed it upon me. So I never lost that love and passion for the game.
That's great. Hey, Alex, I'm dying to see baseball again. And I know Amy is probably dying to see the Stros come back out. Yeah, exactly. any idea? Can you give our viewers do you have any idea what might be going on? Or are you just going to sip a glass and eat that question?
I have no idea. We all want to play. I think everybody wants to play. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I hope it's sooner than later. America's pastime. We got to give the nation something fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm just lost on a Saturday afternoon if I don't have like a baseball game going in the background while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So
me too. This is my first Memorial Day without baseball. It's my first April, May without baseball since I was 5 years old. So I don't know. I'm like just sitting on my couch, just biting my nails, hoping we get to play a game.
Well, selfishly, if you were playing right now, there'd be no way that I'd have you on on our Instagram, on our Facebook. So I hope we can continue to do this. Maybe from your hotel room later in the season, we can be congratulating you, sending you some wine. Amy, Chad, did you guys have any other questions that you wanted to ask Alex?
Since you just got engaged and looked really nice on Instagram that you had, what's one of your favorite places to travel with your now fiance?
Honestly, I like going back home to New Mexico. I like traveling in the family. She likes Austin though. She was living in Austin before we got engaged, so she keeps bugging me to go back up there. So I guess we may have to get married there in a few months, but we'll see.
Well, one of our friends got married in Santa Fe about 2 years ago, and it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, New Mexico is a beautiful place. I love it. Proud to be from there, and it's just it's very blue collar, beautiful, just nice. People are so great there, just like Louisiana and Houston, and I guess San Francisco as well.
Hey man, we grow some great wine. And just so you know, there's hill country just outside Austin, and you can actually do some wine tasting out there. So if you need a pre-wedding activity, don't tell her that.
Oh no, she'll want to stay there all day. She loves her some wine.
I'm good friends with Becker Vineyards, so that's if you need some help, let me know.
Cool.
Well, Amy and Chad, I just want to say it's great seeing you guys again. Chad, I haven't seen you since Dallas in December.
No,
we were supposed to hang out last month.
We were supposed to be in Houston.
Yes.
Hopefully the next time you're down, there's a game, and I will be there too.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, you guys, for coming on.
Thank
Cheers
you.
to you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers to the show. So Alex, I had a couple last little questions, and then I didn't want to waste any more. I know you probably you want to hang out with your fiance. So
we're good.
As a kid, what player? I'm going to change the question slightly. What player were you really trying to become, and how close do you think you are?
I mean, I don't know. Growing up, I had two favorite players. When I was 8 to like 12 years old, I was fortunate enough to be a bat boy for the New Mexico Lobos, the college team in New Mexico. And Dustin Pedroia was playing for Arizona State at the time, and they were winning by 15 runs. And he hits just a normal ground ball to shortstop. Everyone in the ballpark is like, oh, they're up by 15, whatever, normal ground ball. And the throw's a little high. The first baseman jumps and he dives in head first. And he just plays the game so hard. I wanted to be like him. Derek Jeter was another guy that I loved. My mom was a giant Yankees fan growing up. Actually, when Jeter's jersey got retired, she was wearing my jersey on top and then Jeter's jersey underneath.
The twos and twos, yeah.
Yeah, she's from Long Island, New York, so she'd always rub it in growing up how many championships they had won, and they have an unbelievable team up there, so it's always fun playing against them. And honestly, those two guys, when I was as a young kid, it was the home run races between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Watching that was awesome. My parents called me a Breg growing up because A-Rod.
A-Rod, yeah. Another player that switched positions, by the way.
Yeah. Those are the guys that those are the guys that we were watching as kids. They were mega stars, and it was fun.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, I just want to say thanks so much. You're just a super guy to talk to, and really, we can't thank you enough for coming on. I want to make you a wine fan, so I'm not done yet. I'm going to try to make sure that when I'm in town, we're hanging out. I'll keep an eye on where you guys are traveling, because I get around the country, and usually, like Chad and I, what a normal market visit for me is, we pour wine for restaurants during the day, and then we go to a baseball game at night. So if we're in Houston, or if the Astros are in town, man, I'm going to hit you up. And similarly, when your wife or fiance and you want to come out to wine country, I hope you guys will give us a call, because we'd love to have you out and love to take you through the wines.
Oh, that would be amazing. Going to answer a few of these questions for some.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Cool. How do you feel to possibly play ball with no fans? I mean, we love playing in front of fans all across the country. They're amazing. So it's going to be definitely different and tough. I'm hoping for a great season. I think we're ready. We're super excited. My favorite MLB team as a kid was the Red Sox, and then it switched to the Brewers, and then it switched to the Yankees for a little while, and then back to the Red Sox. I don't know. I like,
because you're a New Mexico kid, so there's no local team, right? So
yeah,
there's
no local team. So everyone from New Mexico likes like the Rockies and the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, who I loved as well. I honestly just loved players growing up.
Yeah. All right.
It was a ton of fun. They said, what else they said? We have a baseball team in Indy. Lifelong lessons. What was your favorite MLB team as a kid? Amazing. What a great cause. Yeah.
You're reading all my notes now, by the way. You're doing my job.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
No, go for it. I'm happy to stay on as long as you are, man.
No, we're good. I'm enjoying this amazing wine, to be honest with you.
This is how all good days start.
Yeah. I like how you had the bocce ball behind you. That's awesome.
Oh, I've got, this is my setup for you today. I've got Bruce Bocce right here. He's a huge fan of our Catherine Hall Cabernet Sauvignon for our Hall wine brand. Couldn't be a nicer guy. Does get up from time to time. He's retired now, and he's going to be on one of our virtual lives on a Friday coming up in a couple weeks. Which
one of the best ever.
Yeah, I mean players, but he's a players manager, right?
Oh yeah, every player that I've talked to that played for him absolutely loves him. What superstitions do I have? Well, one's about to be Walt wine after a good game.
Let me know. I can help you out with that. How about pitch? What's the nastiest pitch you faced? And you have to give me the pitcher.
I'd have to say there's a guy for the White Sox. I don't know if I'd say he's got a good fastball. Honestly, I'd probably have to say Dylan Betances' slider. I came up to the big leagues, and well, here's my welcome to the big leagues. I face CC Sabathia, who's unbelievable, Hall of Famer.
Right.
I face Tanaka, unbelievable Hall of Famer. I face Aroldis Chapman, unbelievable. One of the
untouchable.
He's unbelievable. He's so good. Yeah. And then you have Dylan Betances and Andrew Miller, and those are the first at bats in the big leagues. So it got off to a little bit of a slow start. I'll tell you that.
Well, I think that pitchers in general want to give the rooks a good look, right?
Oh,
I think you would agree as the rookies are coming up. So who in the organization right now?
36. It was an interesting start.
Yeah, but then you hit a base hit, and I think your next at bat is a home run. So you were just waiting for your pitch. I mean, if you want to just keep going. So who in your organization right now is a rookie? Do you see as kind of the next guy that needs to go through that because he can beat it?
Well, I mean, last year we had the Rookie of the Year, Yordan Alvarez, on our team, and he's unbelievable. Just a great teammate, great guy, hard worker. prepares like he's a 20-year vet. He's just a solid guy. Kyle Tucker's up and coming. He's going to have a good year for us this year. He's one of our I think he's our top prospect right now. But yeah, we have a great farm system. A lot of guys are going to come up and make a big impact this year and next year, and look forward to it. Lisa asked what we're binge watching on Netflix, and that's a great question. That's Reagan's department. She always just chooses what we watch. So we binge watched All American.
Yeah.
We binge watched
Rhythm through the Tiger.
Rhythm and Flow. What'd you say? Oh, the Tiger King? No, I didn't like. I watched like 5 seconds of that, turned it off.
As an LSU Tiger, I was like, I figured that I wasn't going to ask you that one.
No, the Tiger King's Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, there you go.
He's probably the greatest LSU Tiger of all time. Maybe Pistol Pete. I don't know. Maybe.
Have you met? Have you had a chance to meet Shaq?
I have. I've met him 1 or 2 times. I met him at the NBA All-Star Weekend when my parents had the D-League team, and then last year he actually DJ'd the MLB All-Star Game party after the game.
Oh my God! I didn't know he DJ'd. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
I shook his hand when I was I went to school at University of California, Santa Barbara after I went to Oregon. And they practiced, so Kobe and the Lakers and Shaq practiced at our gym preseason. And I had a chance to shake his hand, and it was the whole thing just wrapped around. I was like, you are the biggest human being I've ever seen.
That's the same thing with Odell Beckham. He makes all these one-handed catches. At school, I shook his hand. He was my next door neighbor. So
yeah,
right above us was Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, and the following year, Leonard Fournette came and was our neighbor. Odell shook my hand. It was like I felt like a little kid.
That's how he can get the whole ball in his hand.
One-handed catches over the head. He's unbelievable. He's so talented. Jarvis was making those same catches in college too. We had a great football team when I was there, but I don't know if one would be better than Joe Burrow's LSU Tigers this year.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He
better than the Ducks, huh? A little bit.
Oh, ouch. Well, actually, we had a decent year. Justin's off to probably a better team than Joe's off to, as far as Joe's going to have to wait his way through a couple seasons, and I think Justin will be up more up and coming.
He's a stud. I've a little bit of Madden, and I drafted him onto my team. We have a team Madden league, and I drafted your boy Herbert onto the team, and
yes,
he's legit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Ducks. I can't we just can't beat the SEC. I don't know what our deal is, but
can I
one
ask
of these days?
Questions?
Yeah, man, go for it.
All right, so let's talk about the different types of wine real quick, and I want to know. Okay. I'm a rookie. I have no clue. If you had to give me a 5-minute rundown on y'all's wines and which one you'd recommend for what time of day, what kind of mood, what would you say?
Maybe a wedding.
Or a wedding.
Yeah, we'd love to be there. So we make wine from vineyards that are as far north as the Willamette Valley, so really close to the University of Oregon, all the way down to Santa Barbara County. So actually, the wine that we make stretches my college career.
Is there a difference in the taste based on where it's from?
Yeah, it's based mostly on weather. So in Oregon, it's colder, right? It's colder, it's rainy. Half the reason the Ducks win is because they have a home field advantage, because it's sopping wet every day. And so those wines tend to be more delicate and less flavorful, right? Like Bob's is this big, rich Pinot Noir. And the Shea Vineyard, which is the vineyard we source from in Oregon, is more delicate. And then if you go into Santa Barbara, the wines, as you get further south, tend to get more rich. That's the easiest way to say it. So when people usually ask me these questions about what I drink, so I tend to drink wines that are more delicate, let's say when I'm working. So if I fly into Houston and I've got a market work that I'm working in the restaurants there, I'll drink that while I'm kind of crushing some emails. And then if I really want to get into something and I want to, you know, feel what I'm drinking, I'm going to drink more wines from like the Sonoma Coast, or I'm going to drink wines from the Santa Barbara County because they're fuller, they're richer. They kind of remind me more. We were talking about Cabernet before the show, so I might dip into Cabernet. And so that's how I drink wine. And then usually it's always some kind of nice whiskey to finish the day.
Nice. What are your top 5 wines that y'all make?
Top 5 wines that we make. So we've had some good success making wines from the Santa Lucia Highlands. That's an area that's south of San Jose, if you know the Bay Area at all. Make wines that are rich but have some nice kind of rustic flavors to them. Tend to be really interesting wines that have lots of variations in flavor. So I like the Santa Lucia Highlands from Rosella's, especially. We just got 97 points in that wine, so thank you. Matt Ketman was the writer. He was on the other day, so that was sweet. I love great Cabernet from Napa. I think that some of the best wines that in the country are made in Napa Valley, and so I was super excited. That's how I started my career, was with Hall. When we were like 13 people. I've raked grapes. I've helped ferment wine. We didn't have a whole lot of people working for us in those days. And our Catherine Hall Cabernet was the reason I actually started working for Hall Wines, because I just thought that wine was amazing. I love the fact that I can work for a family, you know, similar to baseball. You know, you work for families, right? Like you're owned by a group of family members traditionally. And so I like working for family-owned wineries.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what would you recommend for the wedding? What's the exact name so I can get a few?
Well, it's called Walt. You want to drink that?
This one right here?
Yeah, that would be the key. We don't make a lot of it, so you can't have a huge wedding.
So my mother-in-law only drinks Pinot. So she's gotta try both of these because they're amazing.
Yeah. Well, let me know. I can do a tasting for you guys when we're down there. Bring your mother-in-law. So is your fiance from Austin?
She was actually she was born in New Orleans, and then they moved to Katy, and Katie's about 15 minutes from Houston, and she did high school here. She's lived in Newfoundland in Canada. She's lived in Spain for a year. She studied abroad. Here she is. Come in here real quick.
Hey. Yes, we've talked about you the whole show.
We've talked about you the whole show. We need you to tell me which Pinot you like better.
We need an expert in this.
This is Reagan.
Hi, and what's your name?
Reagan,
I'm Jeff. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Bob's Ranch over here, and we got La Brisa on the right. Tell me which one you like better, and tell me the difference in them.
I can't tell you the difference.
Well, you got to sit down and get on camera while you taste it.
This is great.
You gotta show your pretty face on the camera.
It's like Walt Wine's Facebook page after interview.
Can you try this one?
Ooh, yeah.
That is called Bob's Ranch, and this is Brisa.
So we're doing your wedding tasting right now, Reagan. Which one would you pick for your wedding?
Which one would you pick?
Oh my gosh, they're both so good. I think I'd pick Bob's Ranch.
Hey, there you go.
I like La Brisa a little bit. I like the smooth one a little bit better, but you're a veteran wine drinker. So all the veteran wine drinkers watching this, Bob's Ranch may be the play.
There it is. Well, so La Brisa is usually kind of that entry level, getting people into wine. And then when you get to Bob's, it's more serious wine. So I think you guys are nailing it as a couple, by the way. That's great.
Yeah.
So
she's trying to show me that wine is better than beer.
Mm-hmm. I like wine better.
They both have their place. So we would say in winemaking, it takes a lot of 12-ounce bottles to make 750 milliliter bottles. So it takes a lot of beers to make wine, because after a 15-16 hour day of harvesting, fermenting wine,
Jennifer
beer
says
is really good.
Reagan has got good taste.
Ooh, thank you.
Well, guys, thank you so much for
in her fiance. I'm just wondering, Jennifer, if you can clarify.
Alex,
do you have the history of Bob's Ranch?
Yeah, I do. It's a vineyard that's planted in a dairy field. So it was a dairy farming site, and there's not a lot of vineyards around it. It's a kind of a windswept plain, really cold. It's actually in the same climate as my area is, where you get a lot of wind, and there's nothing out there. So if you want to have a really private ceremony, and you want to come to California,
check out Bob's Ranch.
And maybe we'll go to Bob's Ranch. No, anyways. Hey, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for being on the show. Reagan, thank you for joining us. Yeah. And Alex, I look forward to seeing you play as soon as possible, because I want baseball to get back out there. Thank you for doing the extra time and asking all the questions as well. For our viewers, I just wanted to say Catherine Hall will be back on tomorrow on the Hall Facebook page. And we will be back on Instagram on Tuesday. And Alex, Bregman, and Reagan, I'm not going to give your last name, but thank you guys so much.
Bregman, yes.
There we go. Cheers. Thank you.
Soon to be Bregman.
Thank you.
To both of you. Cheers. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Fun. We're going to go drink the rest of this wine.